It's 9:01 a.m. here in Lisbon. I'll now answer a question sent by a student via Instagram DM. How will the trio be separated? How will they remove non-bot humans who've messed up and turned negative in past lives? The Council of Thrones, beyond Earth's frequency barrier, selects based on our nature and actions. First, they check repeat offenders, exiles from Capella, Talsit, Poronac, Algol, Eunakio, Pegasus, Cassiopeia, M38, M42, and Orion's Horsehead. So these beings who were extradited from these worlds when the neutral zone's reconstruction began were classified as criminals and mercenaries. They committed countless war and post-war crimes, including piracy, literal mercenary work, enslaving, killing, abducting, and more. They were extradited and transferred to various worlds, including Earth, without any memories. Their bodies were cryogenically frozen and imprisoned on the moon. Others are held in Agartha, Antarctic megastructures, or Dakar bubbles near Earth. Well then, these beings had their consciousness wiped clean and were made to reincarnate on Earth to see if, through suffering and starting over, they'd change their mindset and behavior. Many actually managed to transcend and improve, right? Many evolved through great avatars like Jesus, Maitreya, Zoroaster, Buddha, Kuan Yin, El Morya, and Jwal Khul. These teachers explained universal laws, karma, and more. Many truly transcended, becoming coherent and energetically aligned individuals. However, I need to cut this short because the Wi-Fi here can't handle it. Many still retain their nature and cosmic memory, a braided memory causing trouble. These troublemakers, already amnesiac with inner malice, were exploited by Draconians, Anunnaki, Enki, Enlil, Inanna, and others to amplify Earth's duality for their own social control, using them as scapegoats to divide and conquer. These souls reincarnated in key positions promoted by Anunnaki for their corruptibility to control society by dividing and conquering. When the Shopats arrived later, they exploited these people to start cognitively dominating all susceptible individuals, those of poor character or nature, to alter Earth's operational plan as a quarantine planet under reconstruction, leading to the harvest happening today. Got it? So you start to realize that this situation isn't as straightforward as people might think. If we're talking about the Shopats, the first ones arrived here nearly 87,000 years ago, along with a wave of negative Anunnaki. But before that, Enki, Enlil, Inanna, Ninurta, and others were already causing trouble. They're the rebel Pleiadian faction, rejecting guidelines and seeking a dictatorial monarchy where only their family rules and is always right. Consequently, Anu's factions were expelled from Alcyone and the Pleiadian Council for maintaining this familial social coalition. Along with them are many groups now in Lyra, which the North American book Species classifies as They simply agree with the monarchy and the Pleiadian royal families from the planet M45 where Anu was born. In fact, there's a socio-political division among the Pleiadians, with some following the laws and directives connected to the Torang, Syrian Council, Urmaz, Philidians, Avians, and even the Shamuna Council. But there's another faction that's quite complicated. This complex faction partnered with the Draconians, Tuban, Rigel, and Betelgeuse, forming the Order of the Black Dragon, which incorporated these humans who are now in power as global leaders, including Shopats. So in this sequence of events, what's actually happening? Now, in Earth's final moments, geez, the news just keeps getting worse. There's not a single piece of good news when I take a look. It's pretty rough. We're already... The latest is that the US is on full military alert around Iran. They've ordered all non-military Americans to leave the Middle East immediately, including some positions in Israel. So the situation's pretty tense, right? These are some really troubling signs. Putin apparently gave Ukraine a beating recently, but I'm not sure if it's true. So, based on all this, right, we're in a situation of final harvest. Well then, how will this harvest be? All humans, not bots, who've shown bad behavior, harmed others, committed crimes against humanity, the environment, the planet, and especially animals have been rejected. Repeat offenders from Capella or elsewhere will have their souls disintegrated by cosmic decree from the Umversa Council, which outranks even Micah. The Council of 13 Shamunas, Lanon and Dex, who answer to Umversa, not Salvator Mundi, carry out this decree. Most people don't know this. So what happens next? The followers who aren't repeat offenders will be sent to primitive worlds linked to Ankylovus, maybe Cooper's Ring or Ortis, moons now reconfigured for rehabilitation. Some will be taken to primitive planets, orbiting Aquarius and Capricorn, like Stone Age worlds, where they'll have to learn survival from scratch without any help. Others with good hearts, but trapped in the control matrix due to lack of options and information, will also be transferred, with their cryogenic bodies remaining in stasis. Here's the key point. They won't return. The cryogenic bodies stay frozen as they're moved to various primitive worlds where they'll be observed for one planetary cycle. If they don't awaken and follow their superiors' correct programming, they may be disintegrated. Those in the 2% planetary evacuation, aware of Star Command, can rejoin it, return to their bodies, and choose to stay with the fleet or move to higher leadership. That's roughly the plan. However, there are intermediate steps I'll discuss. What are these intermediate steps? What we have here is a peach. Delicious. According to emotional and familial tendencies and attachment to the Earth process, these people, about 2%, when they die biologically in our context, will remain in the upper mid-astral plane. They'll act in places like Aruanda, Aruka, Shambhala, or Agartha as support, or on holometry ships, or with... These are all essentially the same thing. They'll function similarly to how Oryxus and Abundus. They'll return here to help those left behind, even traveling back in time. So if someone passed away in 2030, they might go back to 2020, 2015, or... They'll screen people connected to them through family or social ties, performing emotional rescues and helping others, okay? What do caboclos, pretos, velhos, exos, pombagira, and ciganos do through Umbanda and Canal Mulher's amazing work? They differ, but their goal is the same, to help those who are suffering. Many of us will aid in Earth's rescue, helping humans in a process matching each person's consciousness level. For some, it'll feel like a month or two, a week or two from their view. But for us, it's 5, 7, 10, or 15 years working as spirits, helping down here. The mediumship process will mainly involve incorporation, as it does now. This complex part of our growth journey, I can't specify what each will do. I know it'll be like this, but I can't explain it individually, okay? We all have family attachments and we've messed up. That's normal. Never forget, to err isn't human, it's cosmic. The fact we messed up, realized it, and started fixing it is huge progress. When we're more aware, we think, I need to fix this and find a way to do it. By working, helping others, you know? That's what Jesus and all great teachers taught, right? Help others, right? Without attachment, many of us will stay in this energy until we feel we're done and can move on. This journey can also be for a limited time within the Starfleet, including Arcturian, Sirian, and Pleiadian groups based on your cognitive perception there, related to the simulation avatar body within the Federation. Everything is a simulator within another simulator, and personal choices shape what comes next. So let's first focus on getting out of here. Don't waste time wondering, what would I do? First, do what's right. Awaken your consciousness so you can leave. And in this context, folks, my books are designed to help you get out of here. For non-students, begin with Yabrin, which I've republished. It was sold out last month, but it's available now. Yabrin and Mahatma columns are back in print. Many out-of-print books have been republished. I forgot to reissue Terra, Morontial Experience, but I'll republish it soon. And another crucial point, folks. What saddens me most is that many came to Earth with a purpose to help others. But they got corrupted, straying into ego and vanity. Many, due to societal pressures, abandoned their spiritual path for superficial pursuits. They gave up helping others, as planned before incarnating. So this is our major issue. Before incarnating, we aim to help and achieve self-realization. So there are those who come here to find themselves, those who follow the herd, and those who become entrepreneurs. Within that entrepreneurial structure, they aim to help others, create jobs, and raise consciousness in healthcare and other fields. However, many didn't follow through because the control matrix, ego, and vanity were stronger, you know? I know many people who, due to ego and vanity, gave up their spiritual path, abandoned their spiritual journey, and left. I know folks who abandoned their Ibes, Exu, and Pombagira, and Orixa practices. Just abandoned them. They forget that candomblé rituals involve hair, pubic hair, and nails. Part of their structure is their bara. When someone abandons their bara, they're turning their back on their entire hierarchy, which is their own true self. In candomblé, bara is our higher self, settled in a magical process at about 3 to 5% max. It must be nurtured with daily interaction or as often as possible with that structure. Care for it, give offerings, and so on. You can't just ask someone else to do it. I've explained this many times before. Abandoning your bara means leaving your spiritual path and original purpose on this planet. This neglect is frowned upon by our spiritual arch, our star family. It's considered negligent. What do? They turn their backs on us. This causes everything in our lives to go wrong. Absolutely. Relationships, finances, work, self-fulfillment, even health, got it? So this is another aspect that's affecting many people, okay? Many people turn to spirituality in times of suffering and despair. Once things improved, thanks to spiritual help, they forgot about it and thought all was well. This attitude is a factor that condemns people to primitive worlds or, in severe cases, neural network disintegration. It's complex. I can't name names, but I know many who will face disintegration, understand? In some cases, I'll have to give the disintegration order when I'm back on the ship, you see? Or simply, what's the best way? The least painful one. You deactivate the cryogenic body. I'm in Asia in cryo, and that neural network stays in the draconian matrix forever. In 99% of cases, we'd say, since they loved Earth and playing with holograms, just turn off their cryogenic body. So what's the only way out for these people? The Christic path, which will be much harder under the draconian. They'll only have the morontial body as a means of planetary escape. Many of our unresolved issues on Earth aren't just about family ties and attachments. They're about what we've neglected in our social fabric, spiritual commitments, and interactions with others and our environment where we could have been a catalyst in people's lives, helping awaken their consciousness, right? So often when we cross over, we realize, damn, I didn't fulfill my purpose or do what I set out to do. Why? Because the control system, this system keeps you trapped in a cycle of paying bills, right? Earning money, paying bills, caring for kids, pets, all that stuff, you know? So we must be careful, as there's no specific mission. We're here to be happy on this planet. In the process of seeking happiness, we must be consistent with what the universe presents us. Obstacles. How we overcome these challenges and the energy we generate in doing so, be it anger, rage, revolt, or cunning intelligence and self-improvement, is crucial. All this creates, when we pass on, a gradient of accumulated energy. This can be a positive account of prosperity and positive thoughts, let's put it that way, and a negative account of harmful thoughts and gossip. This brings us to the golden rule. Don't do unto others what you would. That's why it's tricky to approach this topic critically or dictatorially. It simply doesn't work that way. Each case is ultimately evaluated. We are our own karma counsel when we reach the other side, facing all we projected in the physical simulator. Damn, I messed up here. This is cool, but that's not. Then you average it out, and that's how we decide. When people are religious fanatics, oh, I'll reincarnate to fix this. Screwed up again. When someone's smart and studies what I teach, that's great. What do I do now? I don't want to go back down there, but I can work here. That's when you become an Orixa, a Caboclo, a guide, whatever name you want to use. So this question will be open to many of us when we leave here in this imminent situation where we don't know exactly what will happen. We need to have a clear, clean mind. The mission is to be happy. The mission is in what we're doing, not to screw others over or harm them. You get it? That's the main goal. So as we overcome obstacles and grow, following these guidelines, we're on the right track. I did my best, damn it. It wasn't perfect, but I tried, man. I did what I could given my circumstances. Great, that's enough. Later, you'll see if you're in the black or red. You'll want to work on it from the other side, resolving issues without fear, guilt, or karma. What elevates us is work, not suffering, revolt, or gossip. It's about working. Work transforms.